Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. We're back again, and welcome to my shop. Mitch behind the camera, me in front of the camera. We are working on a muffler for the Tiger Cub. We started a few episodes ago. We made end caps. That's what the episode was called, and this was the dies used to make the end caps in the hydraulic press. So today we're gonna work on the muffler some more. I got some mesh that's gonna go inside the muffler. We got exhaust packing. We got a clamp. So what we're gonna do first of all is to put the clamp on the bike and hold the muffler and see where the muffler is gonna be situated. The Kickstarter lever has to come down and clear the muffler. It'd be very silly to have the muffler a little too close and not being able to use the Kickstarter. So let's go to the bike. Okay, so I can still slide it a little bit. And it's going to go approximately there. Can you see the Kickstarter? Oh, so that's a little too close. So we have to pull it out a little bit. So that's where we want it to be. I'll just lock that in position for a moment. So it's going to be a little bit upswept. On the stock Cubs, on the silencers, they were always horizontal, but I'm doing things a little different there. So can you see that? I've got clearance there. So take this off and it's going to get cut. You'll see what's going on as we go through the video. It's going to get cut right about there on the muffler. What we have here is the mock-up pipe. This is what I made a while ago, and so it shows the angle. Obviously this is supposed to be curved, but I didn't have that piece of sharp radius tubing. I had the large radius. So let's just see how this looks here. This is better because it sets the angle up properly for the muffler. And I can tell if I did it right. There we go. So this is basically what the pipe's going to look like. That's where the foot peg goes. See how there's a little bit of a kink there? It goes underneath the foot peg and it exits right by the rear wheel axle. So that's still good. I'm still missing just a little bit by what? 1/8 of an inch, 3/16, something like that. So that's good. So what I wanted to do was to measure from here to here so that I know how long the straight section is, because I'm going to make, today we're going to make from here to here. That's what we're doing. This will all happen later after the new head goes on, the exhaust port gets fixed and things like that. Today is from here to here. That line I drew, that's so that when I put it back on, even if the hacksaw went a little bit at an angle, which hacksaws do, it still fits perfectly. I've had this shirt for a while. I don't know where it came from. I think a friend gave it to me. If anybody knows what that says, please let me know. I hope it's nothing bad. Taking off the burrs now on the inside, and then we'll go to the lathe and we have to do some machining. What's going to happen now is we're going to machine this piece down. This is the same size. We're going to machine this down so that it just fits into here, maybe go in 1 inch or so, and then we're going to drill some holes here, and this is going to get welded through those holes to hold it in place. And then it's going to be a little bit smaller on the other side so that when I want to take the muffler apart and repack, this just pulls apart. So I've never seen a muffler like this, so this is kind of, I've never made anything like this. I've made exhaust systems, never made a muffler that I can remember. because of the force of the tool bit, it's moving the tube into the jaws, and I'm watching this line and thinking that I've got that much more to go, and I don't, because it's moved into the jaws. See what an experienced machinist I am? Because I didn't want to clamp it down a whole bunch more, because then what happens is it makes it out of round. So, okay, well, it did take a little bit off my jaw. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I'm still learning. Okay, so that's the fit that I want for this side. So what I did there is I took a cut, and then when I got to about here, I moved it in a couple more thou. So this hopefully will be a little bit smaller than this. I want to go down to there. Just nice and easy in the arbor press. Okay, let's try that. That is welded now. There's the 3 welds, so that is not going to come out of that. What I'm looking for is a nice sliding fit so that this goes on nice and easy. So this is our first attempt to see. Oh, see, and that's how it lines up, those marks there. So it's a perfect match for the hacksaw. I like that. That's a good fit. You can actually hear it. Right on. Okay, we're on to the next stage now. This is exciting. I think what we'll do next is the tube that gets made out of mesh. So I have a shear, and I have no space in my shop which to mount a shear anyway, so I mount it up on my mill table because I don't have the room for a space for my shear. You're never supposed to cut up to the very end because it makes a funny little mark there. You always move the metal ahead. You never cut to the very end. That's what I'm told. There we go. I'd like to thank you for all the coffees. We appreciate it very much. Okay, so we have a tube. It's got to be brazed up a little bit, and it's got to fit to an exhaust pipe one side, and then there's got to be that insert on the other side. So we'll do one end at a time. I'm going to hold this in the lathe, in the chuck, and I'm going to see if this wobbles, because then I can loosen this, I can make this straight, and then I'll know that this is in line, because right now I don't know. That's close enough in my books. It's good to do a double check though like that, just to know. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to flux this up. This is regular steel, actually chromoly. This is steel, so we put a little bit of braze all around there. Flux it up, braze it. I'm figuring out what I need out of the bends, because what's left over is what I can use on the straight sections. So this piece is going to be this. There we go. We're going to cut that, and that's going to go inside. Pretty handy that that's just a nice sliding fit like that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this in. So I've got the piece of aluminum inside, so it's holding everything in line. So now I can tack this. I'm going to tack this in a few spots, and then I'll pull it all apart, and then we're going to attach this mesh onto the end of this, and then we'll put it all in, and then I can tack this. Do you see what I'm doing now? It's my take apart muffler, and the clamp hides everything. So when you look at the header and it comes down and it goes into the muffler, it's one piece. You don't see the join. And yet I can take it apart, I can repack the muffler. There we go. So it all came apart, and there's the end piece for the muffler. So let's go work on this piece now and the mesh. If I squeeze this a little bit with a hose clamp, and then I put a tic tac there, I'll face this in the lathe, and then if I face this in the lathe, then I can put it right on that, and that's going to be perfectly in line, because right now it's not in line. This is crooked from the bending and all that. What I'm doing here is I'm welding a stainless steel tube to mild steel, so I'm using a stainless rod. That's what's going on here. I'm going to flux this up, and I'm going to braze that, and then this can get welded into the front part of the muffler. So let's go do a little brazing now. There we go. Two-piece muffler. That seemed to work pretty good. So what's left to do? We're a little bit short of time right now, but I have to make a little slot here so that when the clamp holds this, it squeezes onto the tube, and I have to put exhaust packing inside, and then the muffler is basically done. Maybe a little bit of polishing on the ends for the weld, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed us making a custom muffler. That was a pretty neat project for us as well. So thanks for watching. We like coffee. If you buy us coffees, that fuels our channel. Thank you. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.